One of the things that every single program taught me, but I'm going to give Goldman Sachs the number one credit on this one, is they told us that you can't build your business by working in the business. You got to work on the business. And I would tell you that was such a headbanger for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
At first I couldn't get my arms around it, because most often, me growing up, even when I saw people with small businesses, even if they didn't look like me, they were there in the business, like
Yeah.
working in the business. So I thought that I'm supposed to be there every day. And then how dare you tell me that I'm not supposed to be in my business? Then what am I supposed to be
Be
doing?
doing. Mm-hmm.
And then when they said, if you want your business to stay small and not do anything, then that's okay. And that's all right. Because some people just want a small business in the community that opens at 9 and closes at 5, and that's all they want. And you have a right to want what you want. Okay.
Yeah.
But I had bigger dreams for the Nourish Spot, right? My dreams when I graduated out of each of my programs, it was the same. I wanted to see the Nourish Spot in stadiums. I wanted to see the Nourish Spot in schools. I wanted to see the Nourish Spot in airports near you. That's exactly what I told people. And I can legitimately say
You've done it.
that all of those things have occurred.
Mm-hmm.
Every single goal that I set forth for the Nourish Spot, sans one that we're working on. COVID got in the way. Okay. Um, but every single one we've been able to do. And it is because of the relationships and the communities that we are in, as well as doing a great job when we get the opportunity to be there.
So what's on this screen?
Oh my gosh. That is Jade and I at our concession at the US Open, which until soccer takes over is the largest sporting event in the United States of America. And we have been there for 3 years,
Yeah.
2022, 2023, and 2024. We're still waiting to find out if we're returning in 2025.
Okay.
My prayers are still up, okay, and my fingers are crossed. But it has been such a marvelous opportunity. We were the first Black-owned business from Jamaica,
The
Queens,
Queens.
ever given the opportunity to have a concession at the US Open in
Wow.
every since its establishment.
Wow. That now that is something to be proud of. And JFK too. Um,
Yes,
but
JFK is
yeah,
just a whole different story.
it's a whole different story and ball game.
Yeah.
So tell us how did this even happen? Like we know you're everywhere, so someone must have seen you, and someone, those connections, because that power of community, right? How did
Yes.
this happen? Yeah.
So the us being in the US Open is I'm telling you, it's a dream come true. Our first big concession opportunity was at Forest Hill Stadium in Queens, not too far from the US Open site. And we found out that the organizers of Forest Hill Stadium, the hospitality partner, is Levy. And we found out that Levy also partnered with the USTA. And so we reached out. We kept asking our partners at Forest Hills, how we get to the US Open? How we get to the US Open? And they're like, can you all just chill right here for a little while? Right? So we worked with Forest Hills 2019, 2020, 2021. Okay. And so in 2021, they told us that they were changing things around and that the following year we wouldn't be there. But what happened was they kind of just moved us over to their friends over at USTA, and somebody else went into our space at Forest Hill Stadium, and we ended up at the
The US
USTA,
Open.
at the US Open. And I would just tell you that it was us talking, just anybody that would listen, anybody that I knew had something to do with the US Open, Congress people, my city council people, my New York state legislators. I was just telling anybody that I knew had some sway in New York City that these were my goals and objectives for the Nourish Spot. And I feel like when you equip people with your wants and your desires, and you're a good person in your community, you're making a positive impact, then people will work with you to make your dreams for your business come true. And I
Mm,
know for a fact that while we ask for the opportunity, that the universe and the people that we've partnered with and worked with, it conspired to help us make that happen.
awesome. So your persistentness, your willingness. So these are strategies, right? That a business owner has to really implement and really change that mindset of I I represent my business, and in representing my business, I need to be anywhere that I can, right? And
Yeah.
talk to people and make sure that they know who I am, because at some point they're going to think, "Oh, I remember so and so. They
Yes.
have, and that's where some of these opportunities arise." And how has being at the US Open benefited your business to grow? And you talked about that vision, that long-term vision, but how has this impacted your business overall being at the US Open?
Being at the US Open has been game changing for the Nourish Spot because other operators of large scale venues know that they could take a chance on us because we've succeeded 3 consecutive years in a row at the largest sporting event in the world.